darling. It's Jennifer from the patio here. Hello to you today. How are you doing? I just want to ask that question real quick. How are you doing? Please tell me in the comments because I'm interested to know. Okay, so today is Grungy Friday for the month of May because you guys absolutely loved, you were flipping for this grungy bird little stair step pocket, which I love too. I think it's adorable, especially with the birds. So we did that. So there's one. And then last week, let me put this together. We did this really cute little project, and it's a little bit darker, and I did more of the black on the edge. Not sure, I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I didn't on this one we're going to do today. But you have this with a little tag. So we have this as number 2, and it's pretty grungy. You know, it's pretty grungy. And so today we are going to, I thought, why not carry on the stair step? And so I made a cute little stair step booklet. So we are, I want you to see the pages. So we have this with the little keys. I mean the typing, you know, like numbers. And we have some with some gears. And then it says, why not? Then this one says, why not? And I totally am for that. Why not? Just do it. Go for it. Why not? Enjoy life. And then this one is like a barn door red. And I love that with the gears. This is more like a robin's egg blue. And then I love this one with the 7. Ugh, I love it. With the writing and then the little chain that goes. I love it. And then, of course, I did one because this is me, J for Jennifer. And I love that one. So it's kind of more like an orangey. And then we have this last one that's just a, you know, just a nice little chain and some writing and stuff. And so I was going to give you a freebie to print so that you'd have something on the inside. But I was sitting here playing and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's have fun with these and do our own kind of decorating on the inside. So I've already cut them out, and I'm just going to give you a tip. When you cut them out, you know, cut out all the edges or whatever, and then just when you crease it on this seam, you might get one side that's longer down here or whatever, and they're crooked. Don't worry about it. You're not going to see it because they're going to be on opposite ends of this booklet, okay? And so we're going to bind it just like a folio. We're going to bind this little booklet, and it's going to be so stinking cute. Okay, so let's get to getting. I really think that sometimes we go to paper and stuff way more than we ought. Instead of just grunging things up ourselves and enjoying the process. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to spend some time enjoying the process. And we may not get through today because I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. And then we'll go from there. So the first thing you want to do, I'm using Vintage Photo. Just so you know, I always print anything that's going to be a folio or a card or anything like that in 65-pound cardstock. And I think that's 180 GSM. And so that's what this is all printed on. I did print this on high resolution. Okay, and I want you to see the difference. This is high, and then I printed this one on standard. And you can see the difference and how it comes out. Like, look at those two. It's not bad. But I'm just letting you know that you're going to see a difference if you do standard or if you do high resolution. Okay, so there's that. So right now what we're going to do is we're just going to get our ink and we are just going to grunge up the page. We are going to grunge it up and we're going to leave this center part a little bit wider whiter, not whiter, but white with an H, whiter. And I'm going to show you why. So we're just going to kind of give it some color, some grunge. And if you want to use black soot, because that's, you know, kind of what you're doing yours in, then by all means use the black soot. I'm going to do the vintage photo. So we're just going to go around the edges, kind of ink them up, do the center, get that center. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Today is Friday, and I know everybody is always looking for Fridays to come. So I hope you have something fun planned. I don't know what you're doing. I am going to my granddaughter has a couple of soccer games this weekend, so we are going to be doing that, and that will be fun. I went to her field day. Yeah, it's called field day, and you know they go outside and they play all the little games or whatever, and do the competition with their other schoolmates. And so I went to that. It was just so stinking cute because she is a kindergartner. And those kids are so fun. So fun. They were having a really good time. And very competitive at that age. It was hilarious. Some of them were getting really upset because they were not winning. And, but anyway, it was just really cute. So we are just going to ink this up. Get this kind of grunged up a little bit. And we're looking for some writing space, because, you know, I'm about writing space. And I even made this little bitty one, which is, you know, I thought about not including it. And then I thought, no, it just kind of adds to it, so. Okay, so I saw this technique, and it's nothing new. I saw it probably last year, and I did a couple of journals with this technique, botanist journals. So what we're going to do, and let me just show you some things that you're going to need real quick. You are going to need some painter's tape, something that doesn't stick and isn't going to rip your pages, okay? And I like to get mine and roll it up, and then I just like to kind of take the little sticky off a little bit, just kind of, you know, play with it a little bit, stick it down. So I'm going to need a couple of these, and I will show you why. So just get a couple of these and stick them down. And then what you're going to need is and everybody has these things, and so this is the fun of it. This is what junk journaling is all about, is just the use what you have kind of thing. So I'm going to get this envelope. That's just I just cut it in half because it had my address on it. It doesn't matter that if it has ink on it or not. So this is a fairly big page. And so see how I've already started? I want to make a writing space right in the middle of this spot right here on this tag. And so I'm just going to rip this down because I want to have ripped edges. Rip it across. And I have two because it's, you know, it's an envelope. It's folded. So what I'm going to do is I want them to go away from the center. And I want them to be the same. And so you just put them down just like this. And you're going to hold them down with some tape. Now, don't press too hard because sometimes this painter tape is, hopefully you can see. So press those down. We'll get two more. Doesn't matter how, whoops. It's not cooperating. Put that to the side. I usually have, yeah, I do. Because I usually have some sticking on my desk. And I do. Because you never know when you need some. I think we used some last week, didn't we? Okay, you're just going to roll it up. And then we're going to put one here. And then we're going to put one here. And this is just a cool little technique. And you'll see, make sure that it is kind of even. That was a big sigh, Bubba. What's the matter? Okay, so now we're just going to lay this out, and then we are going to get our stamps, our script stamps. And you can do whatever you want. Now, if you want like a tight script, you know, you could use something like this. If you want a loose script, you could use something like a Tim Holtz, which I think I'll do. So you're just going to get that stamp, and I'm deciding I'm going to use my coffee stain, my archival coffee stain. So this is Ranger Archival ink. You can get this at any craft store and Amazon, and you don't have to buy this brand, but this is just what I have. So this is a coffee. So we're going to ink this little baby up. We don't have to be real precise, but we want to get enough on there that I can use it maybe twice. And then I like to look it up. Yep, it's on there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover this, and when we do, we're not going to get anything on the inside. And so it's going to be covered, but it's just going to be covered on the outside. And you don't have to do, it doesn't have to be, you know. So I'm going to go in like this. I'm going to go down here. And then I'm going to go over here. Okay, let me ink it up just a little bit more. So you're just giving it just a look and some interest, if you will, around the writing space. Let me pull this one over. Okay. And then when you pull these off, you have this cool little writing space. Okay. And be gentle because it can, not that it will, but it certainly can rip. So, and that looks really cool. And so it's all, you know, inked, and it's faded kind of towards the middle, and we're still going to decorate these. So we're just going to put this one aside, and then we're going to do our next one. And so what we're going to do is we can either take the same piece of paper and then just tear it down, which is kind of what I think I'm going to do. No use in getting more paper out. We're just going to make a different shape. Okay? So I'm going to get both of those together. And we want it to be about right there. So we're just going to tear it. And then I like this edge, so I'm going to go in like this on this edge. And maybe come out a little different on that. Perfect. And then you just open them up. And this one will do the opposite. We'll have more on the inside. And then you just get your tape and then just put it on the back, because you don't want it to come up when you're stamping. You want it to be in place and stick really good. Stick it down really good. So this is what we're going to do. And they don't have to be perfect, but I kind of like them to be a little bit. And then we do the same thing. We just get our ink pad, and then we just, excuse me, ink this up. Ink the sides. And ink that bottom. Ooh, look, I just got it all over my fingers. I didn't put as much on the inside. And then you're just gonna press, and then press, and press, press. That one looks good. I'm going to do a little bit more because I want them to be the same consistency as far as the ink goes. So I'll do that, do the bottom, do the side. Okay. Do that. I'm going to put this one over here. And then I'll go down a little bit more on this so it won't be the same. And there we go. And then we just pick it up, and then we have this little center. And then we have an area on the outside in which we can decorate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take these off because we're going to use them again. Okay. And then we're going to do that to all of them. So I might just fast forward through all of this so that you guys don't have to see me cutting and doing all of that. Or I'll just stop the video. But it is kind of cool, isn't it? Okay, so then we get our next one. It's just stair-stepping, and so that's all we're doing. So we're just going to cut this piece of paper down. Once again, we could leave it this size, but it's kind of nice to have a little bit more text writing. I kind of like the way that one was too. Got to give it some interest. We'll go out like this. Okay, there we go. And then we'll just stick this on. And if you wanted more writing space, that's fine too. It goes this way. I just think it looks really neat with the script, and so I'm going to do this one. I think I have some ink still on here. Yes, 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 yes. Here we go. You can just double it up. And then it, see, just leaves that. I just think it's so cool. Okay, well, I'm going to stop it, and then I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, they are all stamped and inked and have the little place in the middle. And you know what? Look at that. Doesn't that look so pretty? I like it. I like it. I even thought about just doing it this way. So when you open it, you can have one page like this and then one for writing. And then, you know, it stair steps down like this on the, and then all you see on the outside is this. But you decide what you want to do. You decide what you want to do, but I'm going to look real quick and see what this looks like. It's kind of the same, but it's just that you see the stair step on the outside, and I just think that's cool. So, and so then when you open it, you're going to have like all these little bitty writing places. Love it. Okay, so we have that done, and so what I thought we would do is we could just go ahead and bind it, and I'm going to start this back up, and we could go ahead and bind it, and then why? Okay, 20 minutes again. I don't want this to be too long. We could go ahead and bind it, and then that way we can decorate a little bit on the inside. You know, put some labels. I got out some washi tape. This is that Tim Holtz pack that has all the little the numbers and you know, the numbers that go sideways that way. You know, if you pull out Tim Holtz, you know you're doing good. I mean, because it's gonna go with the whole grunge look. So I'll put those aside. Okay, so for those of you that have not bound a journal before or anything like it, oh, I like that one. I just use a wax thread. It's a very, you know, I don't even know what milliliter it is or whatever. Millimeter it is. I just bought this particular one. I was out, well, not completely, but I was out of brown. And I bought it at Hobby Lobby. So you can probably get it at any craft store. Now, I have to concentrate to get, I didn't get it all. Let me cut off an end. I usually press it between my fingernails and my finger just to get a flat. Come on, I know I can get it. You guys are, come on, root me on here. You've got it. You've got it. Maybe I don't. The lighting is not real good in here, so I'm having a little bit, and it's not even that thick. Okay. There it is. If I can get a few threads in there. I did it. I did it. Okay. So I actually saw the other day Natasha from Treasure Books. She made something very similar to this, but she did it with different paper, and she started big and went down. And I thought, well, that was my idea. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so she did it two ways. She did it where she just bound this little bottom one, and then she did it to where she bound the top and the bottom. But I'm going to do it all as one, okay? So, and it's not that hard. You just need to make sure everything's in line, and then you just get your awl and you eyeball it. You don't need to really think about it too much. And I'm going to do it, poke it there, make sure that it's in this one. And then I'm going to do it at the top so that I am coming through that one as well. And that should be fine. Now, I always do about 2.5 or whatever length, but I don't really want anything hanging. I start in the middle, so I'm just going to put that through. And this is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and they all line up at the bottom, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I'm just going to put that in, and I can already feel it coming through. So it comes through. This one's a little thicker because it has all of them. And then the other one is up here. I think that's it. Okay, and then all you're going to do is you're going to go back through the middle. And make sure that you don't split your, you don't go through the other thread that's there. And I didn't, so I'm good. And then you pull it through. Very simple. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The more you don't even think about it. You just do it. You don't measure. The first ones that I did, I would measure everything. And, you know, and sometimes I still do, especially if I want them to be, you know. I don't pull real hard. I definitely, you want to pull up. And make sure that it's tight, and it is. You can't even see it, which is nice. And then you're just going to tie it. And I do too, so I'm going to tie it twice. And this wax thread is very, very strong, so we don't have to worry about that. So see, there we go. And so I'm just going to cut these off. I'm not going to leave any danglies or anything like that. That can be for another one. So there we have our little booklet. And so I'm going to press it down and get it to where it's, you know, it's got to be trained to lay down. So I'm going to get my bone folder and just kind of do that on both the back and the front. I like the way the back is. See, that one is, it's kind of, because of that, you have to be careful about, you know, where they are over here. Okay, so that is done, and you decide if you just want to do a stitch down here and just do 3, you can certainly do that, and it should hold it fine, because it's, you know, it's pretty sturdy. And then these would be, you know, fine. I would rather have this one. I can always glue it right here just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. This one is fine. That one has got 2 in it. That one has 2. That one has 3. So they're all good. This is the only one that I would worry about. Okay, and of course this is just going to be, you know, something that you can put in a pocket at the very front of your journal or whatever. So anyway, so now we can just kind of decorate. We can kind of go through here. We can get some washi tape. We can get some, I have all of my tags and labels here. So we can get numbers, and let's see what else. Definitely am not doing flowers. I found this bucket that I got from my dad. Look at this. Is this not cool? This is an old, it's just a bucket that has a bunch of his stuff in it, and I pull it out and just, you know, just think about him. But anyway, this is an old, you attach it to the wall and you slide your candle down on it. Isn't that awesome? Cool. This is a fire starter, so we won't start a fire here. And anyway, I was going through here and I just found some really awesome keys that have just changed colors and aged, and I found this one and I love it. So I thought I would use that one. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of keys in here and just some rusty things. And I thought I saw a chain in here that I thought would be cool to use too. Oh, there it is. Hello. Anyway, isn't that cool? So you remember I was showing you the other day all I had was silver? Well, look at that one. So we can definitely use this in our project. I love these. Aren't those so cool? Anyway, go digging. Go digging in your stuff and see what you have. There's a couple of keys. Maybe that's to a lockbox that has $1 million in it. What do you think? I wish. Okay, but anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. And I keep it, and then it was just like, you know what? Let me see if there's some old keys in there. And sure enough, there was. So I like that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to play around. We already have our writing space, so that's kind of cool. So we just kind of want to decorate around it, right? So I have all these goodie things with gears and just stuff. Books, and that's cool. These are books. This is cool. Let me just go through here. I thought that said crown, but it's not. But that's okay. It says Crown Diamonds. I'll take that. And then that's cool. Standard typewriter. I like that color. So we're just going to get some pieces out that we can use. I really do. I like these, but I like the ones that are a little bit yellowy. That's what we're going for, is a little bit of grungy yellow look. So, don't want too many, but I'll pull ones that I like out. And that's cool, too. Bubba the mailman has already come by and left. So, why are you sad? Don't be sad. Oh, did y'all hear that? He just sighed really big. He's like, you don't pay attention to me when you're on the video. And I'm like, I know. I don't. Okay, all I'm doing, I'm sure that I'm boring you, but I'm just looking to see things that are in that color scheme that I like. that I think I could use on all the pages. I like that. Like it, like it. Let me see. Yeah, you can still see what I'm doing. So, anywho, I hope you're, enjoying it so far, and it's something that, you can try on your own this weekend or this week, and just have fun with it. Just have fun. That is the whole idea of junk journaling. It's your expression of art, and I love that. I love to see other people's journals and all the different things that they do, because it's different than mine, and it's fabulous, and it's okay, and I love that. Okay, I love that too, and I like that, and I like that. So, and ooh, that's nice. Look at these long ones. Like it. That one's pretty. Because, we have all these pages to decorate. So, not that we want to just, cover them with too many things. But I'm just getting stuff out just to have it out. Okay. And then I won't worry about it anymore. Okay. I like them all going the same direction. I know. I'm weird. I'm sorry. I'm weird. I can't help myself. It's like if they're going to go this way, then they're all going to go this way. Right? Okay, so we'll put that back. And then I have a few little smaller ones. But I also have these. And so let's just play. Let's just play. Because this is the taller of all of them. How fun would it be just to stick that like that? And then just have some... I really like the washi tapes too. We could do that like down here. I like these numbers. Okay, so let me get my ink. We don't need a lot. We just need something, just to kind of add to it. And we'll do this. And then another thing we can do is kind of bend it and then make it look a little bit more aged. You just kind of bend it, and you can also sand it. And I have this old that I've used for this. I just kind of sand a little bit down, and then I ink it. See, and look at that. It just makes it fabulous. It looks so old and doesn't take much effort. And then, look how that is really cool. So just play with it, just play with them and see what you can come up with so that they look aged. And I kind of want one right in the middle. Kind of in the middle, just like that. Okay, see? We just made that look completely different. Okay, so don't want to take away from all the writing on the edge. So let's just pull it out just a little bit. You could actually put it on this side because this one doesn't have that much. And I'm going to make it to where it is facing outward. Okay, I'm just going to put it down. I'm just going to put it down and not really think about... I think sometimes we think too much. We think about, oh, it's got to go here and the perfection of it. And I just don't always think that that's the way to go. That's kind of cool. And then we'll just put that in the corner. I mean, we're just looking for a few things just to kind of add some interest. And it's just layering. So, but if we think about it too much, oof, I've been there. Been there, done that. Thought about it too much. I like it. And we're just looking for something simple. Something simple. You decorate yours how you want, but I mean, even if you just left it like this and you just put some little labels down here, and that would be cool. Let's put this one over here. Start small and go big. And we'll just turn it inward. That one's really cool. I like that one. Okay, I like it. And let's see what we have here. We have all these, and then we have this big Paris one. That would be cool just to have hanging at the top, you know? The only thing is on the back side. I'm just trying to think whether if I put a brad in it, on the other side, I would have to put something to cover it. But I do like that, just kind of hanging like that. So I will do it, and I'll figure out what I'll put on the other side. I could put a key or something hanging down. Sure could. And put the chain. There you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. See, you just like work with it, and then you just come up with something. So on one side, I'll have this hanging, and then on the other side, I'll have the key. That's going to be so nice. So nice. Okay, so we're going to go through like this. I hope these hold these. Yes, it's going to go through. It's going to be a little tight, but I kind of like it like that. Okay, let me put the key on the other side. It's kind of heavy, but I think it's going to look cute. And then let's just attach it. And then this one goes down here. And then this one will go like this. We can hang it off the side. And I'm okay with that. Cool. It's for me, so it's cool. I like it. Okay, so what do I want to do here? How about some washi tape? I've got some numbers. We don't really want field notes. Put that in the corner. Let me see if I can find the edge on this. There it is. Because it skipped from 20 to 80. 20 to 80. I don't trust this, so I'm going to have to get out my UHU and run it through. So there's a little bitty nodule, I guess, from... Make sure there's no more. Okay, let's ink this little baby up too. We're going for grunge. And like I say, I'm not as much of a grunge person as I am a shabby chic. So it is what it is. We are working with what we have, right? Okay. Wow, we're already at another 20 minutes. You guys, how does it go by so fast? I feel like I'm just like going really fast too. All right, I'll stop it. I'll stop it because I know you guys won't watch this video if it's too long. Not that, you know, it's okay, but, you know, I want it to be so you guys, I'm going to do it like that. I can do two things at once. Look at me. I can hold that with that finger and glue this down. at least we got it bound and we got all this done, which is what I wanted to show you, was how cool that is. And, you know, just to do different things on your paper. And it gives you just this, you know, permission, if you will, just to write. Okay, so we have that done. That is so cool. I don't know about that key. I may have to sit in here. But look, isn't that cool? And we got it all put together. And it's a little stair step. And so look how cool. And then you get to the middle and you have that. And I may have to take that key off and find a lighter one. And then you go back. And then look at that. And then you have just all kinds of writing space in the little one. And then that's so cool. I love it. Well, you know what? And that's good. That's good enough for today. It's something that gives you a little extra, gives you something different. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but, and I want to say I saw it from Ceri Griffin, from Ceri the Crafter. Absolutely love his mixed media. He's a mixed media guy. But anyway, I think it looks cute. I think we did enough. And it's something for you to try. And I'll show you my finished product whenever I get it done. So this is your freebie Friday for the second one for this month. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next time. But remember, you only know what you know till you know something different. Bye-bye.